dark truth about the cocaine that was found in the White House. An investigation has been initiated into the circumstances surrounding the purported introduction of cocaine in the form of a powder into the White House. If they are true, narcotics have been sneaked in previously. The United States Secret Service is currently looking into how a strange parcel that was believed to contain a trace amount of cocaine and included a little amount of powder made its way inside the White House. According to Anthony Guglielmi, a spokesman for the Secret Service, the finding of it on Sunday caused an increased security alert as well as a brief evacuation of the executive mansion. This information was initially published by the Washington Post. He stated to the news organization that Vice President Biden was not present at the White House at the time that the chemical was found. The ceremonies in the nation's capital on the 4th of July took place while he and the First Lady were away at Camp David. They didn't return until Tuesday morning. Cocaine was discovered inside the White House. Hazardous materials team from the District of Columbia Fire Department was sent out to make an initial assessment and determined that the substance in question did not pose a concern. The package, which was characterized in a radio communication, was picked up as a yellow bar saying cocaine hydrochloride, was discovered during a routine round of inspections through building. It is currently being put through additional tests in order to determine precisely what it is. According to Guglielmi's statements to the Post, the agency responsible with the safety of the president has begun an investigation into the cause and manner of how the item was able to enter the White House. An original dispatch call mentioned that the material had been discovered in the library on the first floor of the executive mansion. However, authorities who were aware with the incident later told the Post that it had been found in the holding area of the West Wing. An official with knowledge of the situation told the Post on Wednesday that staffers as well as visitors use the cubby to store personal goods such as phones and other items that are not permitted to be brought into other areas of the West Wing. Both Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter, who has admitted to having an addiction to crack cocaine in the past, were present at Camp David when the incident occurred. The president's son was with the family group that traveled back to Washington from the presidential retreat in time to celebrate Independence Day in the nation's capital. After a member of the Secret Service discovered the item during a routine check of the White House, the authorities began investigating how the drug had gained access to the building. The organization stated to the Post that it does not comment on an active investigation, and afterwards, a representative named Anthony Guglielmi stated that additional testing will be undertaken on the material. But if the allegations are accurate, at least one of which was verified by a past president himself, it wouldn't be the first time that illegal substances were taken into the executive house, nor would it be the first time that they were possibly used there. Willie Nelson, Snoop Dogg, and other musicians have all admitted in the past to using narcotics while visiting the White House. In his book that was published in 1988, Willie Nelson claimed that he had smoked marijuana while sitting on the roof of the White House. Jimmy Carter, who was president at the time, had extended an invitation for him to stay the night at the White House. In a documentary that was released 32 years later, a former president provided support for the accusations made by the singer and disclosed the true name of the person who was present with the country star. Although the companion was described as working at the White House, President Carter revealed that he was in fact one of Carter's sons named James Earl Chip Carter. The book described the companion as working in the White House. Willie Nelson was hardly the only well-known cannabis aficionado who enjoyed a smoke while visiting the White House. Snoop Dogg has related his personal experience of having to use the restroom in 2013 when he was performing at an event honoring Herbie Hancock. After evaluating his surroundings, the rapper lit up a spliff and took a hit. Reportedly, British actor Erkan Mustafa lit up a cigarette in the White House as well while he was there to promote the Just Say No anti-drug campaign that was spearheaded by the then First Lady Nancy Reagan. According to the allegations, he and his co-stars on the show Grange Hill were all high as kites after engaging in activities such as doing grass and coke in the mansion. According to McClain himself, Gary McClain, a former basketball player for the Villanova Wildcats, admitted to being wired on cocaine in the White House Rose Garden. McClain was also present at the time. After winning the NCAA championship in 1985, his team was given the opportunity to compete. Grace Slick, a member of Jefferson Airplane, revealed in an interview that she conducted in 2011 that she intended to adulterate Richard Nixon's tea with LSD. Due to the fact that they did it under Tricia Nixon's maiden name, the White House personnel did not recognize who they had invited to a tea party that was hosted by Tricia Nixon since they did so under her maiden name Wing. When she arrived to the mansion for the occasion, however, security refused to let her in, stating that they had checked her out and that she posed a risk. Following the discovery of cocaine at the White House on Sunday evening, the United States Secret Service is conducting an investigation into the matter. Because of the discovery made in the West Wing, which houses the Oval Office as well as other working rooms for presidential advisors and personnel, the building had to be evacuated for a short period of time. During a routine search, operatives from the Secret Service discovered the suspicious substance in a location that may be reached by tour groups. During this period, Vice President Joe Biden and his family were vacationing at Camp David in Maryland. The material was discovered in a storage facility that is commonly used by White House staff members and guests to store mobile phones, according to a senior law enforcement official who spoke with the U.S. partner of the BBC, CBS News. After the discovery was made at approximately 20:45 local time, 00:45 GMT, on Sunday, the White House compound was locked down as a precaution. After further investigation, it was determined that the drug in question was cocaine. CBS was told by officials that the Secret Service will be leading an investigation into how the intruder got inside the White House. They stated that cameras as well as entrance logs would be investigated in order to figure out who had access to the location where it was discovered. According to the Drug Enforcement Administration of the United States, cocaine is classified as a Schedule II substance under the Controlled Substances Act, which indicates that it has a significant potential for abuse. The offices of the President of the United States are located in the West Wing of the White House, which is a huge and multi-level section of the White House. These offices include the Oval Office and the Situation Room. Additionally, it serves as the location for the offices of the Vice President, the Chief of Staff for the White House, the Press Secretary, and hundreds of other staff members who have access. The District of Columbia Fire Department was asked to examine the object, and they concluded in a short amount of time that it posed no threat. According to a source who is acquainted with the investigation, the Secret Service will do a comprehensive evaluation, which will involve analyzing surveillance cameras and entrance logs to determine who had access to the place. This information was provided to NBC News by a source who is familiar with the investigation. In addition to the fact that it was unclear how long the bag had been at the place, the source stated that the assignment would be challenging because of the high number of persons who had been at the location. The White House visitor logs that were reviewed by the Post revealed that there were more than 4,000 entries logged for West Wing tours during March, which is the most recent month for which records are accessible. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.